adjourn this meeting at Childa number 3. 4. As we gather here together to exercise the demon nature of Fauci. Tomorrow, Fauci will wake up a kind man, a just man, and we will be released from his spell of COVID.
Hopefully he's also
Now, sadly, we were supposed to have like a whole big Burning Man thing, but then they shut down our ability to have campfires. The feds were on to us. So instead, I turn the ceremony over to our priest and his giant gallon of milk. A blessed day, everyone. We have got some charges to bring up against Dr. Fauci. Is he even a doctor? Shame! 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 The first charge? A lot of dead people. A lot. Shame! 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 The second charge? AIDS. AIDS. The third charge. A lot of human trafficking in Haiti. Look it up. A lot. Haiti. 6 million. A lot of other charges as well.
Being Italian.
A lot of other
Shame.
A lot of other charges. Sure. The most charges. But now we're going to bring up the sacrifice for the guilty party. Where is my milkman? Hello, milkman. Tell us about this milk.
Well, I ate a mushroom and I raised milk from childhood, but I don't have that many super important things to say about it.
Illegal
so my
fire.
apologies.
Illegal fire.
It was going to be a watermelon. I was going to cut a hole in it. That'd be pretty inconspicuous, but no. Prop joke.
Milk! 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 Now! Can we burn this? No, we can't. No. Okay. I don't think we can.
Burn the Italian.
Says who?
Burn.
Wow, it's not
Burn. 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 Burn.
Oh wow, he's not even gonna burn.
Oh, it's a witch.
He's a demon! Drown it! He must be drowned in the lake!
He's baptized. He won't burn.
To the lake!
Not one fucking lighter.
I'll watch you end up. Alright, now for the execution. We need a strong guy. Where's Wendell? Yeah, who's our strongest man? Who's the strongest guy? Who's the strongest guy? Cotton! Approach! Hold the milk!
Take off your shirt.
Power!
Take off your shirt.
Cotton's a real person?
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna proceed. Let's migrate. Let's migrate to the waters.
Or you're free not to. It's in the water.
Proceed.
Just hold the mile high.
No, we're not going that way. We're going. Proceed for the bit.
want to hold the wire so you can take pictures?
All right, for 2 years, our country has been under Fauci's spell. People have stayed home, they've masked, they've put vaccines into their arms. Today we release the United States of America from this demon creature represented by this jug of milk. And as it crashes into the, not close to the waters because we were too lazy to go down there, maybe be cleansed. Oh, we don't even have a torch anymore. All right, launch the fucking milk. I'm talking too long. Yeah.
Not a cult.
Not a cult.
Not a cult.
So let me introduce everybody. Sitting here with us today, first we got the man, the legend, the priest,
Man of the cloth.
man of the cloth.
Yeah.
Oh, I do have a question. This is 280D. I got to introduce you first. So welcome to the show, Mr. Bird.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Thanks for having me at your festival.
It's fine. It's actually Jacob's festival, but yeah, I'll take the credit. It's my festival.
he does the organization behind the scenes. It's like my relationship with Mike Heiss. I'm the king of the Cocks. He does all the work.
Okay, I'll take
So
that.
this is your event.
All right, it's my event.
He does the logistics.
That's right.
And then joining us also, we got comedian Kyle Ruff. Welcome to the show, Mr. Kyle.
Thank you. Glad to be back. Glad to be back at Childa. Awesome time. Good to see everyone out here sweating in the heat.
Well, that's what Childa's all about. You drink and you sweat it out.
And you sweat it out. Have you had a good time?
I'm having the best time.
Oh, yeah.
You retired early last night, though.
Yeah, God. Well, my body is just a chemical dumpster after this weekend in Reno. Every single person there. What people don't know about the LP conventions is that it's mostly just an excuse for autistic people to get hammered.
And then you came to this event.
Yes.
Which isn't even an excuse. It's expressly
Yeah.
the purpose of this event.
It's
is to get
literally,
people
it's
hammered.
mandatory. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just since you're a little late, it's windy, and we didn't have pop filters, so we just had someone take their sock right off their boot. That's great. So it's a mixture of sock and sweat from Childa, but that's going to help us with the wind.
Mine's a little crusty. I don't know if yours is.
That's a long sock over there.
Yeah, well.
This is a short sock.
So welcome to the show. We got the other noble leader from Timeline Earth, previously of the Fadcast, Mr. Carr. Welcome to the Run Your Mouth podcast.
Thanks for having me on, Robbie. Thanks for having me on.
No, it's a pleasure to be here. So I wanted to start off with, I haven't seen the news yet today, but does anyone know if Fauci apologized, if our ceremony was successful?
Pretty sure he did. Right?
I thought the purpose of it was to kill him.
No, it was we were trying to exorcise his evil spirit.
Okay, I thought
that
you said that when you winked, and we were actually just trying to kill him.
No, I think it would be more persuasive for the American people if he was still alive and said, "Hey, here's what I did to you."
Well, that didn't happen.
We need a full redemption.
I think we would have caught that news.
I think, but I haven't had my phone on me, so.
But did you like the ceremony, though?
I had a great time with the ceremony.
I thought it was great.
I feel like next year we're going to need a new target. We're going to need a new energy that we're trying to bring to the universe.
Sure.
And you and I are going to have to go on a spiritual journey beforehand.
Ayahuasca?
Yeah, and we're going to have to meet with religious leaders to figure out exactly how we can better run the ceremony.
The Southern Baptist Church, maybe?
Yeah.
You can invite them
maybe
in
that can be a cartoon dialogue.
They got a lot of good ideas over
Get
there.
them in the mix.
They might need some of our ideas to figure out how to not touch the kids. It's unbelievable.
That's true, Robbie.
I mean, it is
Very good point.
incredible that those storylines are still coming out.
Every day.
Yeah, it's I guess that's really the cause they're committed to.
Yeah, and this is a good thing to be talking about a libertarian event also, is just preventing that from happening.
Oh, I had a question for you guys.
Yeah, of course.
I had parents that were put together people, lawyers.
Yeah.
And
That makes sense.
So I lived a slightly different lifestyle. And are the parents that brought their kids here, is that child abuse?
Well, it was pretty tricky on Friday when people started pouring in and there were a lot of kids walking around, and none of us stopped doing any of the things that we were doing.
I don't want to be judgmental of people's parenting. I just know what I saw with, Connecticut, lifestyle, and I feel like if I had been in one of those vans, I would have left my family.
Yeah,
I would have been like, there's got to be a better family.
That's
for
why
me.
we're here.
That's their
Here's a new tagline: Childerberg, breaking families apart.
The annual child swap at Childerberg.
Yeah.
Did you guys camp as kids?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Quite a
I
bit.
feel like maybe it's good for you because then if you show up in like tougher environments, like shitty hotel rooms or whatever, I don't even, you know what I mean?
You can
like
just start a fire.
That's the toughest environment Robbie can envision. It's like a really rough hotel room.
Dude, I had
Motel 6 one time, you guys.
I had a fan put me
Really
up in LA, Steven. He's been on the podcast quite a few times, and he was like, "Don't worry, I got you. You're gonna crash by me." He put me up at a place that, it looked like you would harvest organs there. That would be the only reason to be at this motel.
Okay.
So that's
Like
why.
single issue hotel kind of.
Yeah.
Just mainly organs.
No room
No real
service.
rooms.
Yeah.
It's a hospital, basically. Makeshift hospital.
Taking people's body parts.
Abu Ghraib Hospital.
A lot of dogs this year. Not as many kids as dogs. Have you been delighted to see all the dogs around?
I'm not such a dog guy.
What the hell is that to say on a podcast?
I know.
You lost the whole audience.
Yeah.
I know. People.
You're really beating the audience down. My parents were lawyers.
Right.
You already know I'm Jewish. Guess what? Don't like dogs.
Well, the good news is there's no one left listening, so you can say whatever you want.
Yeah, now we can talk about
Yeah,
what we're really
you
doing
can-
with Fauci.
Let's get to that because that was my shining moment. Let's talk about my shining moment.
Why did you have that thing that you wore?
The poncho?
Yeah.
He's a shaman.
Where's Moo? All right, Moo's not around, but Moo, shout out to you. We were talking about me adopting the role of the man of the cloth in order to do the ceremony, which we will explain after that. But I needed an outfit, and he said, I got this black poncho with a hood. And I thought about the image of what that would probably have looked like with the hood up. It was a conical hood also, which was a little bit suspicious.
Yeah.
But I got it from a friend, and I think I gave it back.
I don't know.
I hope I gave it back. If I didn't, I still have it.
No, I think that thing's got
Yeah, that works. Yeah.
Or it's over there, covered in milk or something like that.
I think other people better be careful if they're wearing that thing because it might have magical powers now.
Yeah, to make Fauci a better guy.
Yeah,
As a magical
after the energy of our ceremony and everyone's combined spirits focused on one task of exploding a jug of milk.
Yeah, that was great. So, we meet at Iron Wolf is the name of the place, right? And,
Yeah.
And you immediately come up to me and you say, I'm scheming. I have a plan. I want to do a ceremony here. Now, where'd you come up with this idea? Because you
Last year.
Last year.
Yeah, I just don't plan very well. I guess
This is a year in the making.
Yeah.
That
I actually, you don't remember. I said it to you last year that I felt like in the style of what you guys are doing here, we should be doing a ceremony.
Yeah, that's
And
right.
then I messaged the group on Twitter at some point saying, why don't we go in this direction with it? No one really responded.
No, I saw it, and I was like, I'll get back to that, and I never did.
Yeah, same.
Sorry,
That
but
was-
we're here now.
That's the way I operate too. I have one evening where I'm like, all right, like my ADD, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
there's like one evening. If we get it done in that evening, it's great.
Yeah, otherwise
and then
it never
otherwise by
happened.
the next day, I have no
Done.
interest
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah, I'm glad we got it done.
But we pulled it together.
I thought it was amazing. We planned it in 10 minutes.
and I bet Fauci feels a little bit different today.
He probably
I
woke
bet, like,
up with a
maybe-
sore throat, maybe.
God, this is milk.
he woke up and his milk was spoiled.
We should have a positive mental attitude. It might. Wouldn't that be great if he just had spoiled milk for the rest of his life?
Yeah, he can't drink milk anymore. He's,
Yeah.
he's
Touches
now
milk.
lactose intolerant. And he goes out there and he says it wasn't my vaccine that caused it. So, getting back
He's
to
on
it,
the news tomorrow. Like, was someone doing a ceremony because?
he just knows
Yeah.
this has happened before. He's had sore throat milk before.
A litany of really mild inconveniences.
Someone already did Gatorade last year. He's like, I'm telling you, Gatorade is terrible.
So Robbie comes up to me and he goes, I'm scheming. I want to do this ceremony. And we need a prop. And so the original idea was a small watermelon that you had bought from a gas station.
Yeah.
So what happened to that watermelon?
You know, it's still in the fridge. I forgot about that
Oh,
watermelon.
okay. Well,
I
that
ate that watermelon.
Yeah, it looked good.
It looked really good.
I picked it out myself. I did the ear test and everything.
Oh, wow.
I
Okay.
inspected the watermelons, and I had that one as being the most delicious.
So you didn't get that, but you got a jug of milk.
Well, with the benefit of hindsight, I'd say like with the hood thing, like it's probably a good thing that we didn't do the watermelon.
Ooh,
Yeah, that's true. Oh wow, I didn't even make that.
yeah.
You know what?
Because we already looked like
We
a
already-
bunch of...
Well, you in particular picked up a tiki torch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, that didn't help either.
Yeah, it looks
I
Yeah.
think that's ridiculous. Firstly, I'm just bald, okay?
Am I?
So, like, the fact that I automatically, like, people are like, this guy's a racist, and then I'm not allowed to hoard torches anymore? I like torches.
Well,
They're useful.
Robbie, it was the fact that you screamed white power. I think.
there's a lot of things that we've been meaning to talk to you about today. Actually, it looks like I'm the ad hoc HR department for this podcast.
Yeah.
And yeah. I gotta. We'll have a conversation.
We have
after
some
Okay.
complaints
that.
to levy.
Yeah, I've
Why,
been
did
taking
I-
a lot of mail. Yeah.
Yeah. Did I do other inappropriate things last night? I don't seem to remember.
No,
getting
last
into-
year you
It was
did
mainly
far more
the hood.
inappropriate
Yeah, it
things
was
than this
mainly the
year.
hood
Yeah, it was
and
the
the-
hoods.
yeah.
And it was just the hoods and the clan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
But
I
that's
thought
okay.
you guys told me
Yeah,
not
just the little things.
to bring those out. Last year I brought them, and you're like, we're not mentioning that. Now
we're-
you're kind of throwing me under the bus here.
Yeah.
Well, we could stop mentioning it then.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's,
All right, moving on.
let's go back to my crowning moment,
Yeah.
please.
Yes.
Jesus. So I get the robe, I put it on. I got this great red light from BR. God, I don't know
It's really
BR's
bright.
handle. Oh, Bloody Revolutions, if you want to follow him. Got a great light, red light. I think red is the least intimidating of all colors. So Fauci, when he saw that in his dream, probably because he was sleeping, because it was 9 p.m., it was late
Right.
for him. He probably was convinced by the great lighting and the cool aesthetics. And so then we charged him. We said we were going to do 5 charges, but I flopped. I did 3, which was the creation of the coronavirus, the creation of the AIDS virus, and the human trafficking of children in Haiti.
What's the story with that one?
That's a real thing. So when he was developing the AIDS vaccine, he was testing it
1981.
on Haitians as just one of the places. And
The most
there-
disposable
and-
of people.
Well, that's was how he views them. And so
Thanks, Kyle.
he was.
Yeah. HR's taking a hit over here. Got a lot of mail coming.
Yeah, the more mail
My
coming
phone's
now.
buzzing.
So he was testing the AIDS vaccine, whatever it was, just testing AIDS in Haiti. And the clinics where they were being tested, a lot of children who had visited them ended up disappearing. So.
And they didn't just die of AIDS like the rest of them.
I still think that would be a problem if that was. I don't know.
Kyle really
Somehow
tried to
that's
get
less
into the-
important to
Maybe
me.
might have died of AIDS weeks after they disappeared. Or,
Oh, well, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
It's not clean people banging these child slaves.
No.
It's, you know,
Yeah.
if you got AIDS, that's all you can do is bang Haitians. That's all you're left to. The
yeah.
most disposable of people.
You get send the email out
I'm
one more
dying,
time.
man. I'm dying.
Robbie at HR.
We're in trouble, guys. I got bad news.
HR at
Bad news.
RobbieFirebernstein.com.
So we're at year 4 now of Childerberg,
Year Veer.
and this has grown into quite a movement. So give us the update. I mean, this is turning into, you guys are sold out this year.
Yeah.
200 tickets, I believe, sold out. Where's
Hell yeah.
Jacob at?
I don't
Hey, Jacob. How many seats did we sell? How many sites? Just over 200. Which
Campsites.
was got to be double last year. I mean, the crazy thing was on Friday, which is not an official day of Childerberg. There were more people on Friday than they were last year at peak.
That's great. And so,
That's
are
awesome.
you hoping
Yeah.
to keep growing the numbers, or do you want to go more cult vibe and keep it like to a small, more?
Yeah, both, because we
not a
located
cult.
a couple of private sites just at this park where we could have that later, where it's just the in-group.
Right.
But, yeah, we'd like to get I'd like to get 500 people.
So here, you want to get to it to the point where it's like the current group's almost like the VIP.
Yeah.
And then there's like a mass movement of people filling
Yeah.
up this valley.
Yeah.
Who are just wishing that
and
they
we
could be
send
a
someone
part.
down from our hilltop and
This
we
is-
proclaim news.
The
and-
entire thing is basically in service of our ego, time on Earth.
Yeah, this is a money laundering thing.
yeah.
This is
To
a
be
lot
clear.
about money.
Wait, we're
Yeah.
laundering money?
There's money being laundered.
Being laundered, yeah.
How do I get on that part of this?
Well,
Well,
we
I'll
don't-
text you
Yeah.
sometime later. Anyway, let's stop talking about that.
Yeah, let's move to the next
Okay.
one.
What is the next one? Yeah, it's great. It's been a great time. It would be great if what you hear on this recording is
I
the entire time.
The wind just ramps up during certain seconds.
Anytime Robbie's talking, the wind is up.
Isn't that right, Robbie?
Well,
He ends up recording it afterwards, his own lines again afterwards. I'm so cool, everyone.
Yes, everyone laugh at my joke. Again.
I do add a laugh track.
Got to.
No, I thought of a way that we might be able to secure funding for this.
Okay.
Which is, I think we could pitch the government on we are a rehab center for prospective school shooters. And we showcase that you can be an autist and still run freely and enjoy your life.
Yeah.
You can be a part of society.
Yeah, we give hope to these kids who are lost in school. I feel like we might be able to get government funding if
Yeah.
we took that angle.
It could be like a Childerberg side hustle.
Yeah.
Or something.
I think it would be a great idea.
I feel like the's just, there's lost kids out there that don't realize that there's a farm like
There's
this
a place
where
for
they can
them
roam
where they
free.
can bring their guns.
Yeah.
And they and there's lots of targets.
and whatever random
shooting range.
I mean, that's
all other kids
Yeah.
in the targets.
that's the ultimate conclusion of Childerberg. Right? I mean, like, we all know where this is headed, right? I mean, we're strapped in,
That's
and we're
Childerberg 6. We got one more to go before we really organize the kids shooting range.
Well, we got to get the message out first. And then 6 is going to be a real banger.
Yeah.
And I feel like whatever random topic they just want to talk about, because they all have like one thing that they're obsessed with. I feel like you can come here and just be another person who's just talking at a tree.
Oh yeah, there were people talking about echolocation and bats over there earlier. Yeah, other people getting drunk at
That was a
9
good
a.m.
seminar. Yeah, that was a good seminar.
Solid,
TED
very
Talk,
solid.
yeah.
I needed to know more about
I
bats.
set my alarm to get up for that one. That was a good one.
Jacob, what's the fifth? So we've been doing this thing where every year the number changes and the language of the number changes. So we had Childerberg 1, Chili Dos, Chili 3. This is Chili Veer, that's German. What's Childerberg 5 gonna be?
Go.
Go?
Childerberg, go.
Childerberg Go. What language is Go?
Japanese.
Japanese.
Oh.
Okay.
It sounded like a Power Rangers type
Yeah,
thing.
it sounds well. That,
Childerberg, go.
You gotta
I think the pronunciation is more like go.
So it's more of a samurai type.
Childerberg Go.
Yeah, go.
Yeah, I like that. You're gonna get an email about that
A
one.
lot of anime.
My inbox is broken.
Your inbox is broken now. Now the Japanese listeners.
Yeah,
are
now
hating.
they're pissed. It's just various groups of people.
The Japanese listeners are fine with the kids shooting.
Yeah, but
it was the mocking language where they had to pull it back.
never make fun of 5.
Don't
Really-
dishonor
really
my
defensive.
memory.
They're defensive of 5 as a number.
I'm a secret of numbers. I'm 100% Japanese.
we
for those who can't see, so it's fine. As the only Asian here, I'm allowed to say this, and no one else is. So you're welcome.
As soon as Jacob said Childerberg go, I saw you mouth 05. I know. Oh yeah, I know.
1, 2, 3, 4, go. That's Japanese.
I knew
We all
that.
know that.
All right, so let's get into we'll cover a couple of the recent news topics.
Okay.
The big one, they're talking about that this upcoming summer, you might start seeing some rolling blackouts. That comes on top of all these supply line issues, comes on top of people like me panicking and buying food.
Yeah.
So where are you guys at on all this? How bad do you think things are going to get?
Well,
What's your prediction between now and next year's chili?
I think most of Childerberg has been experimenting with rolling blackouts through the weekend, so I think we're all going to be very prepared.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm certainly going to get rolling blackouts in the building I live in, so I'm been prepared for that. Yeah, I have a lot of books and enough bullets to, if I miss once, I can go again.
Do you still live in
Good school
Queens?
shooter.
Yeah. No, I'm in Miami now.
Oh, right. I forgot the. How do you like that? You
way
moved
better.
last year.
I love it. Way better. Great place. Greatest state in the union. Mostly happy to just be away from New York. You're still stomping around in New York.
Yeah, I'm living in Connecticut, but in New York.
It sucks, right? Doesn't it? Doesn't it still kind of suck a lot? I was there 2 weeks ago and it still sucks.
It seems to me like to me at least, it's lost its cool factor. And that most of the bars I like don't exist anymore. Yeah. Everyone who's hanging out are like these. I feel like it's like movie set of how good looking people are, and it's like I'm not supposed to hit on you. You're like an extra here.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it's like they're not actually drinking at the bar.
Yeah.
It's like they're filming
just standing
something
around. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like what I guess what I enjoyed about New York City seems to be a little bit absent at the moment.
Yeah, well, that's, I mean, part of the reason why I left was because about half of the restaurants that were my favorites are just gone.
Right.
So, yeah, but I don't know. Nobody wants to hear about New York. But just, I'm glad to be out. I'm definitely glad to be out. Glad to be in Florida and in Gomez.
Gomez, baby.
In the larger part of Gomez.
Yeah.
What is?
Florida is the sword of Gomez.
Okay,
Yeah.
you gotta enlighten me on Gomez.
Yeah, go ahead. Are you wearing the shirt? Okay. Why don't you go for the Gomez bit? Or you want to
Oh yeah, there we
go for the Gomez bit? What's Gomez?
So Gomez is something Carr created that I hitched my wagon to. Gomez is all of the states between Florida and Texas. So Texas is the shield, Florida's the sword.
Okay, so we're trying to start. We want to break the union.
Yeah.
And so Gomez is supposed to be the
Gulf of Mexico.
But that sounds like Mexicans are welcome there.
Yeah, can't have that.
Yeah, I feel like it's a bad
They're going to
name.
be here regardless.
We're still in alpha.
We don't have the
beta.
manpower to get them out anyway.
We're working the kinks out. Yeah.
Yeah. And by the way, that's another HR. You have to put that one in too.
Yeah. It's gonna be a tough go.
Yeah.
How do you come up with the name?
I actually didn't. I think somebody on Twitter did. Gulf of Mexico Autonomous Zone.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
It sounds like something went down though. You end up with that name. Like that sounds like a nuclear war type name.
Yeah.
Well, maybe.
Yeah.
That's what we're hoping. That's what we're hoping, Robbie. Really hoping to get a nuclear war in there.
Yeah. Slip one in between COVID and the butt virus.
Can we talk about the butt virus?
The butt virus?
Yeah, can we talk about the butt
I don't
virus?
know about the butt
monkeypox.
Oh, is it you get it in your butt?
I think so.
No, you get it by fucking people.
If somebody comes,
so you're gonna get it.
If somebody
Yeah.
comes,
Yeah, I'm fucked.
Yeah, dude.
Literally
Yeah.
and figuratively.
I thought if somebody deposited in your butt, you get it.
A whole monkey?
Is that a distinct? Is that a distinction without a difference?
Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
How do you feel about monkeypox?
I feel like we should have put an end to gay people a long time ago.
Robbie!
You got a busy day. You got an 8-hour day. They're really trying to make it happen, though. They're really trying to get everybody
What?
hyped up about a monkeypox.
No, they actually walked it back pretty quickly when they discovered that it was
really?
mostly in the gay community, and they didn't want to bring. No, I'm not even lying.
No,
I believe
I think
actually what
you're right.
happened
Yeah, I think
was
you're
they
right.
were like they started to ramp it up, and then they're like, oh, this one doesn't look good,
Right.
And so they
Because all
dropped
the
it pretty
reporting
quickly.
was the new AIDS, and
No,
it's like,
'cause it
well,
just-
we got to
they
go back
found
to how
out-
AIDS was the gay disease. Was
Yeah,
was a lot of that.
They found
No,
out.
like that.
They found out right away where they're like, "Oh my God, this is a serious problem." They're like, "Oh, everyone that got it attended this one event in Germany. It was like a gay,
this one gay
rave.
butt sex event,
The butt
the
event.
German gay butt sex event.
Yeah,
Scheiße.
We shall call it the butt.
Childer
The
butt.
big butt.
it was actually called the Monkey Party.
I want to do this thing where we do viruses the way they do hurricanes, where it gets a silly name every year.
Oh,
the next
wherever
virus
it
comes out.
starts.
Yeah, wherever it
That's
starts.
a great one.
So it's just the first
Well, I don't know if
guy?
we want to do monkeypox for where that one started, though.
I would like if every new STD. It was like a
I'm
Lou,
just saying.
It was like a Lou Gehrig disease where it had the name of whoever was the first dude.
Guy who had it.
Yeah, whoever the first guy. I don't know how you track that down, though.
We can probably get to the bottom of it.
Yeah, we'll get to the bottom of it.
I guess you got to go to whatever lab Fauci's working
that's
at.
how it started.
I mean,
in the first
it's
place.
going to
It got
start
to
at
the
this
bottom of
event,
it.
right? So we got to narrow it down to about 250
No
people.
one's getting laid here, so probably
That's so
not.
true.
Yeah, this is the cleanest. There is
There's a guy at the
no
entrance.
monkey box here.
This might as well be a safe sex seminar.
There's the extremely dangerous road on the way in here. There was me and him were driving, and me and Carr were driving, and there was a guy shirtless, like massive biceps, just kind of fixing his car or something, and he goes, "Not one of our guys, too athletic."
You can instantly tell.
Yeah.
All right, so have you guys been watching any of the footage out of the DeVows stuff out in, I don't even know where it is, but
What are you talking about?
all the Great Reset. You got the, you guys aren't up on this?
Absolutely not.
Really?
No, I
talking
don't.
about?
I don't care what they do or say.
Oh my God! I mean, we've heard some crazy speeches. Alibaba Group, they're creating technology so that they could track your personal carbon consumption. They got Pfizer's got pills they can know if you actually took the vaccines or not.
I did see that one.
They've got.
I saw that one on Fox News.
Oh wow, yeah, Fox.
Yeah, they got. It's like. I thought you guys would be all over this topic.
No, I don't. Davos.
Yeah.
Davos.
Yeah. How would you
Davos.
pronounce it?
Well, the
Oh, is
thing
that
is,
meeting or whatever?
Yeah, it's all the old German guys who are like we still control the world. And
I like those
I don't
guys.
think they do anything though. I don't really think they have any pull. They don't have
Okay.
any military or anything like that. What are they? You know what I mean?
Well, they've gotten world leaders into a lot of their positions with the Young Economic Forum Group or whatever it's called.
The Young Economic Forum.
Yeah, the World Economic Forum.
the uncomfortably young economic forum.
No,
those can be the first on the target range.
Yeah,
the Young Economic Forum.
See, I think that's what Epstein was calling his island for a while.
Yeah, it's an economic
Yeah,
forum.
we're just talking economics.
Young world leaders. It's like
Yeah.
Young world leaders.
They've trained a lot of them. It's a creepy amount of people that have gone through their
Maybe
farm
we should
camp.
get on this.
Yeah,
I
we
don't know.
absolutely should.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
So listen, why don't you tell us what we really should be concerned about, which is these long deers?
Well, let's talk about it. You want to talk about it?
No, I think you.
This was a good bit. So we've been trying to fish for like a bit to engage our audience for a long time.
Okay.
And like one night, we're in a group chat trying to plan out what the episode's going to be. And we decide, let's try and go viral. Right? So we...
So you have monkeypox.
Monkeypox
Yeah.
style, yeah. Right. Bringing it back.
in my ass.
Full circle. And so we
That's
did,
where it
and so we did, and now we're here.
Yeah.
And Bird's got monkeypox.
And so, basically, what we did, we got all of our fans, like a good number of them, to go on Nextdoor. We took this Photoshop picture of a deer, basically like the size of a light pole, nicknamed it Long Deer, and we had, I think, interactions-wise, gotta be like 14,000 interactions on the post that I did on Twitter over it. Just passed a meme around. It was pretty triumphant. Did you see it? You haven't seen a long deer?
Didn't see the long deer, huh?
Tell me about it. That's what I'm asking about.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean,
Everyone's
that's what we
talking
did.
about long deer.
The
out
long,
here.
I mean, we got long deer T-shirts too. I don't know. It was a phenomenon. It was a meme. I guess you weren't. Hi, Pete.
Which one? Which mic is he on for?
And
that down.
out from look who we found here. What Childa brings out. I haven't seen Pete in a long time. How you doing, buddy? It's nice to see you. You got to talk into the dildo we gave you.
Doing good. Crusty. Doing well.
All right, and it's been a little while. I know that you've gone through an evolution. You're post Liberty now.
Am I?
Yeah, you're pushing into new territory. So can you lay it on for us? What is the new guiding philosophy?
Weimar Republic 1922.
A Republican 1922.
Weimar Republic 1922.
Okay. What is I don't know history. You got to educate me here.
Oh, it's the rise of the National Socialists.
Okay.
You should probably know this one, Robbie. Just
Just get the HR.
yeah,
I'm trying to pretend like I know as little of the Nazis as possible. I feel like I got myself in a lot of trouble with that ceremony.
Yeah,
last night.
you revealed how
I'm
much you knew
Hitler,
with the turkey.
What are you talking about? I never heard of some Hitler.
Who's this Adolf guy?
Yeah, Adolf. Sounds nice.
No, it's just I mean, I just don't think that there is anything politically that can be done outside of like a Caesar or something like that coming in and cleaning house. And I think until then, we just need to build on our own.
All right.
Yeah,
So what?
I think that's a pretty simple thing.
So what are we building?
Alternate communities, parallel communities, build wealth, build an arsenal, all that. Yeah.
Be prepared.
Yeah.
This is the stuff that everybody's been talking about for so long, which is why I talked about it with you. I was like, I don't understand the controversy.
Yeah.
Everything that he said was things that have been said for
Well,
years.
I've told them. I think that
By the way, I didn't even know there was beef until last night when I was like, will you come on the show tomorrow? You're like, you'll have me on? I was like, yeah, why wouldn't I have you on? I was like, what's even going on? I was like, oh, did something happen here?
Carr will tell you why he said that once you get the letters in.
Yeah.
Oh, from the HR department.
Yeah. I'm taking a lot of bullets for you guys.
Yeah. There you go.
It's amazing.
No, I'm a big fan of try and live your best life. I feel like that's kind of the best approach. I once heard Grant Cardone, he's a sales guy. These were two things that kind of kicked me a little bit, at least from a mental perspective. One was Jordan Peterson with his clean up your own room.
Okay.
And then also Grant Cardone was once talking about, like, I don't read the news, go make news.
Right. Well, clean up your own room is just a metaphor for accepting Christ so that he can wash away your sins, right?
I did not know that.
Oh, boy.
Yep.
I thought it was just like, hey, take care of your own shit. You know what I mean? Like,
It's not how I read it.
All right. So
I thought it was metaphorical.
Okay.
Actually, yeah. I mean, there are some people that need to clean up their rooms. That's for sure.
Wait, that was about letting Christ into your heart?
That's the way I read it.
I cleaned up my room. I was home cleaning. Do you mind pivoting the GoPro?
It's crazy because you cleaned up your room and you didn't clean up your act. And That's what he's talking about.
Nope. Okay, so the new thing is live a good life and be prepared. Well, so I mean, what's the prepping you're doing? What, you got a neighborhood alliance? You're arming up with
trying
guns?
to save up as much as possible, get rid of all debt, pay for everything. I bought a car recently. I paid for it, and just try not to have any debt while you're building wealth, and try to figure out a side gig that you can work yourself out of a job, so you don't have to have the corporate kind of thing. Because the corporate thing is just not. I mean, you could say the wrong thing on Facebook and lose your job nowadays, right? And it doesn't. And you're not even like radical as we are here. One. Yeah. That's
like because I was lucky enough. I left a corporate sales. Firstly, already sales jobs, you're producing. So for the most part, unless you do something, you're on the front page of the newspaper. At sales jobs, they kind of don't care.
Right.
It's just like salespeople are different. Like they're doing coke every weekend.
Yeah.
Like they're not pretending to be behaved individuals.
What Aaron was talking about, going to those clubs in New York where
with getting monkey
just nasty
stuff.
Yeah.
Those are the sales
people. Are injecting stuff into their dick, kind of stuff. Yeah.
I haven't seen that.
I phased out for a second. You were talking about dick injections?
Remember Aaron telling the story about going to that club in New York?
Oh yeah.
It's like, and he's like, oh yeah, I know it. There's clubs like that all over New York.
Yeah, all over where they put someone in.
They're like name clubs. That you have to know where it is and everything like that.
I've never been to.
Never been to one of these piss clubs?
No. Wait, you get peed on, or you pee on other people?
I think they kind of pee, and you might get it.
I think there's a give and go.
I've been to bars that smell like pee.
It's kind of like going to the Blue Man Group show, except it's piss.
That doesn't sound fun at all.
I don't really.
I didn't think it sounded fun either.
But then were you converted? Like
my co-host was very much converted to like.
It's sort of like New York City's version of a donkey show.
Yeah, it's a donkey
thing,
show.
Yeah. Who does the peeing though?
The girls, the burlesque ladies.
Oh,
girls.
Yeah, and that's an important. Yeah.
Wait, they have penises?
Some penises probably were peeing.
Now, do they like?
They're petite feminine penises, but they're penises.
Do they put up like a fan so it sprays all over the crowd type thing? Like make sure they get even.
Sounds like a good idea for this event.
Or is it just like if you're in the front row, then the guy you might be like, oh shit, I got all the pee, I'm the lucky one.
Maybe
all the above.
You buy your ticket based on how much pee you would like.
And you went to this?
No, I didn't go. No.
You're just
Somebody went recently. I just listened to the whole story, and I'm kind of horrified. But
No, I think trying to get out of the system though, and you're right. Where if you're working a job that that I can't even show up and speak my mind, have my opinions, I might post a picture on Instagram and then get fired for being somewhere. And we know that,
like wielding a tiki torch.
Yeah.
No, potentially as
taking a leak on Auschwitz or something like that.
As a theoretical, as they try and push us more towards a Chinese social credit system, they're not there, but they would like for us to be there. And there certainly are a lot of offices that if you're working in, especially in New York, and you kind of don't. Dude, I remember when Trump got elected, it felt like there was a death. Like in my office, I was with 25-year-old, women were most, it was as if we were mourning a death. and I started laughing at like the morning huddle. So I
Yeah.
got thrown out of morning huddle.
Yeah.
Morning. Oh,
We
yeah.
had the day afterwards. He got elected. Me and my friend group got together. These all New Yorkers. So all of them are Democrats except one friend of mine, my best friend. And there was a big gathering the day after. We were just hanging out, and he goes to open the door for me. Everybody else is there. I look at him. I raise my hand and I go, "We fucking did it, buddy." And everybody else is going, "Sons of bitches." I went, "That's right. I voted for him," and I didn't, but I wanted to take the credit for the win.
All right, so give me something juicier. Give me something more controversial than, hey, I'm just trying to get out of debt.
Well, that's
and
all
live
it
my
is.
own
Everybody
life.
else just assumes everything else. You
Yeah.
know, it's just
Yeah.
it's ridiculous. You know.
Okay, because
Yeah.
you're an outspoken guy. I feel like
Yeah,
if you
well, I
got
mean,
something harsh
well,
to
I
say,
think
you
if people
will-
like, if you're going to have
Twitter.
all these people pretending to be interested in politics,
Okay.
and yet they say power is immoral, you sound retarded. Because politics is all about power,
Okay.
and then you have a whole party, a third party, mind you, that of people who are like, well, political power is immoral. What the fuck are you doing? Well, I mean, what is this performative bullshit?
Okay.
And why did you spend? Why are people spending thousands of dollars to go to some shitty fucking town in Nevada,
Okay.
where there's like nothing
Jeez,
to?
Reno taking blows.
I mean,
There's
let's be
nothing
honest.
to do.
It
It's
probably
really,
sucks.
It sucks.
It probably sucks.
Yeah.
So actually, I got to push back. Firstly, Reno's fucking awesome, dude. It was beautiful, and I had a blast. I actually, in terms of cities, I've traveled a lot of America. It sucked to get there, but Reno itself, I was like, I was actually annoyed that I wasn't spending more time in Reno.
Rob is in a Reno fan club.
No,
Yeah,
dude,
jeez. He's
dude,
a fucking Reno
Reno-
stand
Paid by
here.
the tourist department
Reno
of
was great.
Reno.
And no, I think while I respect your philosophy, and I think that there's a lot to be said for, hey, just live your best life, and also to like, you can have your own communities. I also have a lot of respect, and I like what Dave and the Meathawks are doing.
Well, if you have to
and I-
raise $40,000 in order to get people there,
Right.
these are people who probably should be worried about making money and
Right.
not going and voting for something for a third party that's not going to be able to accomplish anything.
Well, I think so. To me, the two things are not mutually exclusive. Yes, if there's somebody who doesn't have a job, they should probably be working on getting a job. or if
and
they're
this
not
is a
wealthy,
bigger
then
issue
they
than you
should
think.
also be moving towards their wealth. The fact that there's a passion for what they're building, and I also think the idea is more trying to wake people up. I don't think they're thinking, "Hey, we're coming into this, we're taking over a political party."
Dave does that by going on Joe Rogan, and he doesn't need a political party to do it.
Right, so I think that Dave could probably better defend what they're doing. It's not my stance, but I think
Sure.
the idea is that this is going to raise awareness and make a concentrated effort to be able to firstly make sure that the Libertarian Party is actually libertarian. I think that's
that
one
was
of the goals.
that's spending a lot of money in order
Right.
to save a word.
Okay, and to you, that's not a
Yeah,
value.
yeah.
And to them it is, but that's
Well,
that's
because
an okay disagreement.
money's a finite resource.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then again, some of the rich people that you would probably need to get excited about it would not just there's money in politics that doesn't exist for just you as an individual.
Correct.
So like you might get an Elon Musk who's excited about like a Dave Smith movement and then gave a substantial amount of money that was able to spread the message, and that's not money that was just being handed to the people who, needed a plane ticket in order to get there.
Do you think that in 2020, when people are being forced into their homes, losing their jobs, losing their businesses, and then being forced to take a jab, that would have been a message that people would have woke up to and said, hey, this is totalitarianism, let's stop? I mean, let me
Right.
that seems a whole lot more fucking serious than somebody getting up and fucking delivering a message on a TV show. These people do not want to wake up. They want fucking tyranny.
You're saying
No
that
one's waking these fuckers up.
So you're saying that no, this is interesting. You're saying that there is nothing that's going to change people's minds because we just lived through a moment that people should have realized, hey, government's not even letting me show up to my job. And so if this wasn't a moment that changed people's minds, now you're like, there will be no change, so I have to individually find a group of people so I'm prepared for what's coming because something's coming.
Or there was a group of people
Right.
that fought back against it and talked about it, and they just happened to call themselves Republicans.
Okay.
But because we're neither left nor right, whatever the fuck that means,
Right.
they won't work with these people. They won't even acknowledge them. Oh, those are blood-soaked monsters. It's a libertarianism is a ideology of bumper stickers.
Okay.
A bumper sticker. I mean, sit down, read, and friggin' try to figure out what the hell is going on. And a bumper sticker slogan is not going to wake somebody up. I mean, Carr talking about Bitcoin does more than taxation is theft.
Yeah, but us getting excited about something also forces the Republicans to kind of go, oh, this is something that's important. Even Bitcoin, like Ted Cruz has become actually a big advocate kind of for the crypto space in general, which is in part because of all the industry that exists in Texas, in the way that they're starting to use basically like the spillover from energy and that kind of stuff.
Well, I mean, what you just said is it operates on the assumption that you can change the system from the inside. And I don't see that happening.
Okay.
I think the system has to be cleared out. I mean, Nancy Pelosi, Joe Biden's not running the country.
Right.
Nancy Pelosi's not running the country.
Right.
It's people that you don't know that are running the country. The elites.
Sure.
People that have money. Well, how do you get rid of them?
Yeah, but it's not. I agree with you, but also, I mean, this is something I've been talking about. And part of the problem, if those power be had their way, there would be a domestic terrorism title. There would be complete censorship, and I would probably be in jail. And they keep trying to push that agenda. They
Getting
keep
a lot of
teasing
monkeypox in jail.
There you go. And sometimes they push it too far, and it doesn't fly. It's what happened with the with that lady who was going to be the Ministry of Truth.
Yeah.
And people just kind of got wise to it, and they were like, "No, this is America. That's not going to happen." They teased it. They tried it.
And then they just put someone in who's worse.
Well,
but isn't like fucking Mary Poppins, or,
you mean with
or scary Poppins.
They were seeing, though, if on a public way, people would get behind, hey, the government's going to have a Ministry of Truth because disinformation is that bad, they kind of tested in the market when, hey, that's not going to work.
But they're rebuilding it.
Yeah, of course they're rebuilding it. It's not going away. The point I'm trying to make is that if it was up to them, there'd be a domestic terrorism title.
Sure.
Government would mandate to the social media companies, hey, here's what's allowed.
Yeah.
People outside of that would be going to jail, and we'd be looking at they can't currently do it. Right?
No, they don't have the political capital to do that.
They do not have the political capital to do it. So I'm saying to be within the fight and to be educating people about these dangers, like the idea that that's not worthwhile, or that that's like that the fight is totally lost, or that it can't get worse. I don't think that's reality.
But there's a long game. I mean, there's a long game that they play. They're really good at low and high time preference activities. Right. So when they're going for power, like we see a lot of like real high time preference grabs for power. But they also took 100 years to march through the institutions and own them, and that's a low time. That's a low time preference thing. I mean, and you have social engineers out there. What is the libertarian answer to the fact that there are social engineers and that they have all the power?
You'd have to break down that question for me.
Well, social engineers. I mean, why are there kindergarten? Why are there gay male kindergarten teachers doing TikTok videos talking about how they only feel like their existence is justified when their students call them by the correct pronoun? Okay. How did this happen? This didn't happen by accident. This is political. What's the libertarian answer to that? Well, end public schooling? Well, that sounds great. I mean, that's beautiful. Another bumper sticker.
Okay.
So what do you do in the meantime? What you do in the meantime is you have a two-pronged approach. One that's short-term, one that's long-term. You homeschool your kids, and then you get elected to the local school board, and you do everything to burn the fucking thing down.
Okay.
I'm into it.
Or you keep calling attention to the fact of, hey, look, there's an agenda here, which they've done. I mean, including Florida would be the best example of DeSantis.
Because they have it. Because he operates like an autocrat.
Right.
Yeah. Most politicians, or especially Republican, quote unquote, right-wing politicians, they're scared to operate as an autocrat because then they're going to get called fascist, and you can't be called fascist because that's the worst thing you can possibly be called on the whole planet.
Okay.
So until you have an autocratic kind of, I mean, the reason why DeSantis works is because he's embracing his Italian heritage.
Let's go.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, and that's really the only way that all of this is going to get solved is somebody's going to have to come in and say, all right, I mean, I know you guys are probably going to try and kill me, but we're going to burn this fucking thing to the ground and start over again. It's the only way this happens. You can't fix this. This cannot be fixed. I don't even believe in incrementalism anymore. I think you can do incrementalism on the local level.
Right.
But as far as the national level goes, and as national power continues to grow and grow and grow, you just have to burn that down.
Okay. Now, I'll just give you a little bit of a positive spin that I see going on. Is I think, and I'm hoping, maybe this is me being stupid and too hopeful, I think they've pushed it a little bit too far. And I think as inflation goes up and we got rolling blackouts and maybe there's other scarcity issues, I actually think people are going to turn to government and basically be, what the fuck? And the storyline's going to come out about the push for green energy that was too soon. And I think it's just going to be like, because of cost, people are going to be like, I hate this. It will most likely be a Republican that will come in and go, I mean, it's a good opportunity for teaching people with what just happened with the baby food.
Yeah.
You know, now,
yes.
if we had an honest media, which we don't, we'd probably actually get the news stories of like, you know, kids that literally, the kids in the hospital, and then break it down. Well, what was the relationship? Why did the FDA take this much time to reopen it? Why weren't they looking at it? How is it the government didn't call another branch to just be
Are there 2 baby formula manufacturers?
Dude,
in the
no.
country?
Here's what it is. I think 4 of them have like 90% of the
It's
market.
It's ridiculous.
But then there's this, I don't even understand it. What do we got?
We got some beers. Beers just came over. Hell yeah.
All right, who's got a?
I'll take the goat.
Who's got a?
Somebody pop
got
it
a
open for us?
popper?
Anybody got a bottle opener?
We got a popper.
All right, so
Yeah.
just to pivot here for a second,
It was a good point.
I love the
Thanks.
I love the core philosophy, which is be responsible for yourself, and on a local level, we have to push for change. I'm personally a little bit more excited about what the Meathawks are doing and the push that they're making. I understand that not everyone's as enthused about it, but let's pivot to, I know that you have a film coming out that kind of showcases some of the horrors of last year and what happened throughout the pandemic.
Well, 2020. Well, it's about the police.
Okay.
So it's a documentary on the police, and it's called Over-Policed. And it was originally supposed to be called like Over-Policed and Underserved, something like Underprotected, something like that. And we just got together with this is for more of a normie audience. This isn't like a libertarian. This is
No, but that's huge.
This
I'm
is
saying
actually
that's-
trying
that-
to
that's
find,
huge.
This
Yeah.
is trying to find ideas in ways to make the system work, you know, especially on a local level, that isn't, oh, let's just end policing. We need
Right.
private policing. Okay,
By the way, I couldn't agree more. I'm always the more practical-minded one, and I've made that push, I think, on part of like, well, let's move the ball forward. Let's find some solutions. So the idea of like figuring out policies beyond, hey, tomorrow we're not defunding the police, we're not closing the public schools, we're not doing these things. So what can we tangibly do that gets us closer to what we want or what amplifies freedom? So I agree with you 100% where it's like, what are the practical solutions? I think in terms of kind of narratives changing and people becoming educated, what happened this past week with that school shooting, that the cops didn't go. How many people are thinking right now, I do not want to leave my protection. Why am I forced to leave my protection to this other group of people?
Meanwhile, Bortak looks great.
Yeah. And a guy who's off duty.
Yeah, off-duty Bortak.
Yeah, and he's getting a haircut.
Yeah,
and he gets a
like
phone
that.
call. Was half of it.
But it's incredible. Every time government services fail, where they tell you, hey, we're here for you, and then the moment comes where they're supposed to do it and they just fail miserably, I do think people kind of start going, why am I relying on this?
Yeah.
Like, they don't have it under control. And obviously school shootings are not a way to push forward. Like, that's not, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying, oh, great, there was a school. That's not what I'm saying. I am saying it's interesting that when you see government fail on epic levels, people just going, well, I don't want to rely on them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think what's funny is, I'll point something out here, is whenever something like this happens, everybody gets mad at the left because the left makes it a gun issue.
Right.
And then, you know, it's like, well, you're standing on the graves. Well, isn't it kind of like, you know, like end all policing? Isn't that like standing on the graves of the kids too?
I honestly think mentioning any agenda in immediate tandem with these is gross.
But
Including
something
by me.
organic.
I just did it.
But something organic like that, where people start waking up and they're like, I mean, this is a twofer. I think this would make people want to pull their kids out of school, and also it turns into a gun issue.
Yeah. Right.
So, you know, there's two ways to benefit from this, to talk about, you know, be pro-gun, but you still want to make sure that people, I mean, all these fucking kids that are dead, unless it's a psyop like some people think.
Right.
Everyone's a psyop. Everything's a psyop. In some way, I think that's true.
So tell us more about the film.
Yeah, so we're just going to go over the history of policing and then bring it all the way up to the modern day, go over some big, huge failings and then present solutions
Okay.
within the system, and there'll be the libertarian solution of private policing and
Right.
everything like that too. So
Has this been filmed already,
yeah,
or
it's in the editing process. Should be out at the end of June.
cool? And then where can people find it?
I don't know yet. It's
Okay.
We already have. We are. It'll be on YouTube immediately.
Right.
But we had our first documentaries on Amazon Prime
Right.
still, and Amazon Prime has stopped
Was
taking
that the
a lot
one
of
on the
Monopoly on
pandemic?
Violence. No,
Oh,
that was
okay.
that was.
What was it?
that was
Because I
good.
remember last year at Pork Fest, there was some sort of a pandemic documentary. Am I just making that up? I might be,
It was the one about California.
maybe.
Are you
I
talking
don't
about
know.
pandemic?
I don't know. I drink at these events. I don't get everything right.
What?
one
Oh,
other girl did.
yeah, that's right. I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah.
But you're pretty, you're fairly industrious because you did 2 books of the Freedom Through Memedom.
Yeah.
Now, so I mean, firstly, I think you're very good at kind of taking the bigger ideas and making them digestible for normies and non-libertarians.
Thank you.
So what do you think's what's the next project you got in mind?
Well, I mean,
I'm becoming a fascist, guys.
Joining,
I got my armband.
joining
I'd
with
love
his
to do-
neighbors and taking over his neighborhood.
I'd really like to do not an hour and a half long documentary, but like 4 or 5 episodes breaking down the concept of the cathedral.
Okay.
Oh, okay. That's
That's awesome.
Yeah. When's the Timeline Earth documentary coming out?
Yeah,
That one-
that's what
that
we're
one-
interested in.
You know, actually, Car,
Yeah.
when is our documentary about the
As soon as
German
you guys
Gay
go-
Butt Sex Festival coming out?
I think it already came out.
Thanks for asking, Robbie, by the way. So
Yeah.
that'll be out in September. On all plats.
We've both
On all
come out,
platforms.
and now it's coming out.
Yeah.
Talk to your publicist. He was supposed to get me everything I was supposed to cover before
He's
the
fired.
episode.
He's
yeah,
fired.
he should be. And that HR department, because what happened here last night was
Disgusting, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm working overtime.
All right, Pete, anything else you want to let the Run Your Mouths fans know about? Anything
Yeah,
else to
it's
plug?
The Pekinana Show.
Hell yeah. Thank you. Pleasure
brother.
having you on.
Thank you.
I'm going to rotate you out for Jacob, who is going to tell us about taking in Ukrainian refugees. You're on the front line of having to deal with the
trafficking section.
You're on the front lines of
Age of
having to
consent
deal with
conversation coming next.
Biden pushing Putin into a war.
Yep.
So tell us about your life now. You got a whole Ukrainian family.
Yeah, we're very happy to have them out of harm's way. Victoria, my wife, is Ukrainian, and so when the war started heating up, we asked her mom to come and live with us, and she didn't. And
She's like, I want to ride this out.
yeah, she's like, no, it'll be fine, and then she got very scared when they started dropping bombs, and so we were able to get her out, and then Victoria's friend also. She left and went to. So they live around Kiev, and then she went to, I guess, Odessa. Yeah, Odessa to ride it out, and then Odessa started getting bombed. So he said, "Come live with us." And her husband was conscripted for the war. So there's a war going on. It's from our perspective, I think it's pretty ridiculous, and it's also it's if you pay attention at all to any of like the alternative news sources or whatever, like what they're telling you on CNN is just not accurate. It's basically the
It's
war.
as true as Corona.
Yeah, I mean, the war would have been over probably, and with a lot less people dead in a couple of weeks if the United States wasn't just pumping in billions of dollars. So it's kind. But I understand both sides. It's like, look, you identify as your own ethnic group. You want to be your own country, but also at what cost? And up until, you can tell me if this is correct or not correct, but up until maybe a month or 2 months ago, pretty much every Ukrainian that I met through Victoria, when I would say, well, what's the difference between Ukrainian and Russian? They go, well, we're a little bit different, but it's basically the same. That's kind of, and now it's like, no, it's
Now we're
absolutely
very
different.
different, yeah.
Don't use the Russian words. We were only speaking Ukrainian, like all that kind of stuff. So it's been interesting. I'd say it's more like sitcom life because I live in a house with 3 adult women that don't speak English and 2 kids that don't speak English.
Right.
So
Do you ever find yourself like explaining something like that's? I guess like we would know. Like I'll just say as a theoretical, like if Ukrainians just didn't flush toilets. Now I'm not saying that would happen, and then you're trying to explain it to them, and it's just not getting through, and then you just start yelling because you realize this is my fucking house, and like I've lost it to people that like I can't even convey.
It almost
English
sounds like
to.
this has happened to you already.
Oh yeah, I
It
had
sounds
a
like you have
homeless man in my apartment for an entire
Oh,
year.
I
So.
had a homeless guy that lived with me for about a year.
Yeah. Well, he's a friend. He wasn't really homeless. That's just me being shitty.
Well, this guy was homeless,
Right.
but he was a friend.
And he did shit on my floor.
There you go.
He was a friend, and later on
flush.
he realized it was a mistake and gave me a lot of money, which was nice of him.
Oh, that's
But-
sweet. He rallied.
Yeah, he rallied.
turned it around.
Yeah, but no, I mean there is. I would say like I have tons of patience. Like I am not easy to anger at all.
Me and you're such opposites.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
always mad.
It's
Robbie always coming in hot to any conversation.
some things annoy me. Like
What do you want to talk about?
the communication thing is a little bit tiresome. But
Because they don't speak English.
Yeah. Well, and also it's like when you're doing Google Translate, 3 or 4 words max.
Yes.
Right.
When you are like saying 8 paragraphs of sentences and 90%, but this is my sexist stuff. I used to work with a lot of women. This is like when women would come in and ask
This is my sexist
Yeah.
stuff.
He realized-
this
he
is my
realized-
sexist bit right here.
He realized he didn't like them and it was a mistake, so
Yeah.
he stopped doing that.
yeah.
HR at
Sexist
RobbieTheFireBernstein.com.
Right. Well, I'd get these ladies coming in when I was a developer, and they'd be like, Dr. So-and-so is getting a divorce from his wife, and they have 3 kids. And I mean, this would go on for like 30 minutes of them telling me about this doctor's life. And I go, what's the problem? They go, oh, they want to report about how much his payroll is.
You could have just opened with that.
Yeah, and I'm like, why did you spend all that time? And this is what it sort of is like with Google Translate with her mom. Is
Right.
It's like paragraphs and paragraphs of information that is completely irrelevant that end in. I'd like to go to the grocery store.
You would think having to work through Google Translate, they would cut through the bullshit
Yeah,
for
yeah,
you.
yeah.
But it's like,
Absolutely not.
it's still
Stories
all
need to be
there.
told.
Yeah. Oh,
They also do lists differently than we do. So like a grocery list.
You know the Ukrainian list is the least important thing is first.
Yeah.
And then you. Right.
Well, it has no organization, it seems. It's just kind of stream of consciousness. But it's also, I do.
Gonzo listing.
He's pissed about that too.
When like
No organization in your list?
When I make a grocery list, it's new line
It's by
for each
aisle,
item.
right?
No, it's new line for each item and then by aisle.
Because you're a serial killer.
Yes.
Yeah,
You can't possibly think
Yeah.
that someone else
It's 'cause
was...
I don't want to be in Kroger longer than 10 minutes.
Right.
I
yeah,
get
me
it.
too.
Yeah.
But you'd like to sit down for a half hour,
Yes,
do the
and
logistics,
do the
of
logistics.
how to
In the
get
comfort
through it
of your
within
own
10
home.
minutes.
Yeah, where I can hang out.
I will
And,
say,
and you said you work in software, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It explains a lot.
if I go into a grocery store, you would hit, because I have ADD, I always end up there for like an hour with just dumb shit in my
You have
cart.
ADD?
Oh my god, but I'll just like I just roam aisle. I'm annoyed if I have to go to the grocery store for like one item because like I have to like mentally
Dude,
just,
I think you're
just
annoyed when you
grab
get
it.
in there, man.
No, I'm like just grab it and get out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
But this is the thing is it's a list with no breaks, sometimes commas, and names that are not what we call things.
okay.
So
It's eggs and they want milk or something
well,
like
I mean,
that.
like I came back. The very first grocery trip I went and got. She had white flowers listed, and I was like, "This is bleached flour. That's white."
That was cauliflower.
Yeah, it was cauliflower.
White flowers called.
White flour is, and like so. I come back with a pack of flour, and she's like, "No, white flour."
Can I shout out this beer because it's particularly delicious?
Yes, it's
excellent.
it's
Yeah,
a
shout out the beer.
Lord's Day Brewhouse. Where's the guy who handed this to me? Is he
Luke.
making
Luke.
these?
He's DFW. He's a friend of the show.
Yeah,
I mean, these are. I took the first
big
sip, and
time
I'm more of an
friends. Very
IPA
good.
guy. But right off I was like, "Holy shit, this has
Yeah, it's
an
really
interesting
good. He's a
flavor."
really good brewer.
yeah, he's very good. He makes these at his house, and
Yeah.
they're excellent.
He brings
And you know
them
where you can get them,
anytime I
right?
beers.
You know where you can get them? At Childeberg.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
At Childeberg.
Exclusive. Yeah.
All right, I want to. Anything else you want to throw at the Run Your Mouth listeners? You want to let them know about Chili?
Chili Go.
Chili Go.
Yeah, check out childeberg.com, and that's pretty much it. Just I'm going to start doing a little bit more like video content
Okay.
on YouTube on Tasting Anarchy, which is my show that's about wine, but I'm going to try to do intermittent episodes that are more about
Maybe
news
call
on
it
Childeberg.
Autism Weekly.
Yeah, Autism Weekly. That might be a good idea, yeah.
No, here, actually, a great idea. Autism Weekly. It's the journey to Childeberg, and we do one like documentaries where we follow one guy who shows up here
Yeah,
each week. So we
yes.
focus on one different person who is here.
That would be
Yeah,
good.
that would
Yeah.
be really good.
Okay, that's
like
not a bad idea.
UFC embedded style, where like they
Yeah.
follow those guys leading up to the
30 by
fight.
30, yeah.
So we get that, but it's leading up to Childeberg.
Uh-huh.
The slaughter.
Yeah, exactly.
That's good. All right, that's
All right, we're gonna bring one more guy on here, Buck.
Buck.
I got a flight to catch, but I wanna bring on my good friend, Mr. Buck Johnson, the best looking man in Liberty. Yeah, when are you gonna teach us some fitness classes or get us on your roids?
Well, isn't that agorism? I can do that, right?
Yeah.
black and gray market.
No, I'm impressed by you because when we're at these things, you party. I'm always waking up in the
Yes.
morning going for a jog. I've yet to see you get a workout in, and you're like in super shape.
Well, if you do the workouts every day leading up to this is just a break.
There you go.
It's like the recovery. I'm growing muscle just by drinking and chilling.
Powerful.
I got to get on this
Powerful.
plan.
Only a Childa.
Yes, only at Childa Bird, right.
And this is your second or third chili.
Second one.
Okay. Me and you, we're chili vets.
Yeah, no kidding. I love this. I'm definitely coming back for another one next year. I rented an RV. I think that's the way to go, in my opinion. Next year I will own one. So
okay,
that's my goal for next Childa Bird.
You got a year to make enough money to buy. What does an RV go for?
I was already looking this morning. You can
Okay.
get that one used for $26,000.
That's not bad.
No, and if you rent them out, maybe a
You can
couple
make it
times a
back.
month, but easy. Yeah, that was $250 a night right there.
All you need to do is a couple more of those events at your house and rent those out for your events.
Yeah.
You can make that back easy.
Right.
That's not bad. All right, so I do have to catch a flight, but I wanted to bring you on. Last time you had a fascinating take for us on good and evil. So I'm curious to know what are some, because you do your homework more than I do, and sometimes I'm looking at what you're doing on your show or listening to the show, and you've gone deep. So as of late, what have you kind of been getting into?
Well, I suppose you're referencing when I did the show in Mexico. It was so funny. I didn't even think it was a thing. I almost said it in passing about demons, and then I've witnessed demons and wait, demons? Are you talking about real demons? And I thought, oh boy, I've opened a can of worms. But it was right at the end of the show, so we were leaving. I've been going to an Orthodox Christian church in Lockhart, Texas. That a series of coincidences that aren't probably coincidences kind of led me there. Having Vin Armani on my show, who now goes by Cyprian, he kept mentioning Orthodox Christianity, and finally after a third interview or something offline, I started saying, I've got to get some information on this. What should I read? Who should I look into? And he kind of gave me a soft opening to it all, and I've dived in deep since then.
To Orthodox
Christianity.
What's the difference between that and the socialist pope?
So a big difference. So it's the original church. It's the original.
Oh, you're all on board with the
I'm a
socialist?
Catholic.
Oh, but you like the pope? You got a socialist one at the moment. Yeah, this guy sucks.
And so
he's part of the global elite.
That he is. That's true. And the Catholic Church has been infiltrated by CIA types and people above the CIA even. But that's a whole other story.
Who do you think's who's the head wizard? Like if you go up that CIA chain that infiltrated.
Well, we don't know. If the person with the real power, the people with the real power, we don't know their names.
All right.
I think it's Joe Biden.
What if it was like?
I think it's whatever parasite's living inside of Joe Biden.
Yeah, see, evil spirits.
Joe's perfectly cognizant.
What if it was just some
playing
random
a
dude
role.
like Steve Wilson from Little Rock, Arkansas?
Oh, that'd be great.
He's just running the whole thing.
guy.
Yeah, he's just pulling
Just
all
some
levers.
fucking
Like,
coder.
I got to keep it going.
Some data management guy.
That would
By the way-
explain Clinton's success from Arkansas. So.
There you go.
There you go.
But it would be amazing though if Biden was actually sharp and was the guy.
Oh man, and this is all a ruse.
It's a route where he's like,
I'm
fuck
playing a
everyone.
game,
He was
man.
like, everyone's fucking up so bad. He's like, all right, I'll do it and I'll go play that fucking character.
Retard's here to save you.
Yeah.
Boy, he's doing a great job. Then.
Yeah.
Oh, good. The meth finally showed up. I've been waiting. I've been tired and. All right, I'm sorry.
Hell
no
So
worries.
you're in demon church.
Yeah, it's in the church. I became a catechumen, which means it's kind of like if think of it in terms of a biker gang, you're a prospect.
Okay.
And so you go through this process of being a catechumen for about a year or so, sometimes 2 years, until you get baptized officially.
Okay.
Well, when you become a catechumen, they exorcise the spirits from you.
Do you feel better?
I do.
Hell
Yes,
yeah.
yeah.
I gotta say, as a person who spent a fair amount of time very religious, and I'm not hating on it, but when you're into it, it's a hell of a drug.
It's
and
amazing.
so,
yeah.
did you grow up is this your first bout with Christianity?
No, I grew up what they call, I guess, non-denominational evangelical Protestantism. And I got, when you're in your 20s and you get out of that stuff and you're single, living in a town like Austin, you start to find other outlets to relieve your
dude.
stress. So I guess at some point I would have became what I would call a devout atheist even. And I was reading like the God Delusion book and stuff like that. And I followed Penn Jillette. Look where that would have got me.
Right.
That's the guy who actually got me into this community. First of all, it's Pendulette.
Yeah, he used to be. I feel like he pulled the wool over my eyes
during the bullshit era.
Yeah, it was so good.
Bullshit? Yeah.
And now the guy's pimping for vaccines and Joe
Weird
Biden and Hillary
fall from
Clinton.
grace,
I was like, damn it, I fell for that guy. I mean, he's a genius magician.
Oh, amazing.
So he pulled his magic on me. And so I grew up evangelical. Became an atheist through my 20s and early 30s, and then after 2020 started noticing some things that were probably other outside of the material world that I've thought. And so I started kind of doing a little search, and a weird string of coincidences, including a guy on Twitter, a Hoppian, that followed me, emailed me or DM'd me, and he's like, I would like to invite you to this church in Lockhart, Texas, Orthodox. I'm like, that's 5 minutes from my house. How's there a church, an Orthodox church in this small town? So there we go.
Is the actual going to church fun?
I love it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Like, what goes down?
The worst part about being here for me was
I
you
missed church?
Yeah.
This is church.
Well,
I feel like this is the Lord's tent right here. We're doing good work.
Yeah, we are. That's true, and this is fun. Why do I think it's fun?
No, I've never been to church. I don't know what goes. Like I was saying, when I went to synagogue, at the end of my run of synagogue, I had a blast, but I used to show up in the morning.
Synagogue is just arguing, right?
Haggling. It's just haggling.
It's just sharing money tips.
You go into synagogue and immediately you gain weight.
Yeah, they let you know.
It's just pulling strings. For society.
Exactly. No, I used to have fun, but I used to show up early. I'd get hammered with the janitor. I would just continuously leave throughout services and drink with other people. And then what finally ruined synagogue for me was I was too hungover on Saturday nights to do comedy that I was like, I can't go to synagogue anymore. So that was the end. But that was like when I was like at the end of my synagogue days when I didn't really like being there. So like I would just kind of figured out the corners of the building you could drink in. But I don't know what goes on at like what is it when you show up to, like I can tell you synagogue. A lot of prayers in Hebrew.
Yeah.
They read the Torah. You hear a speech. More prayers in Hebrew. 2 hours start to finish, and that's what goes down.
With the exception of a few key words that you just explained, that's very similar. Orthodox services are by far different than any other denomination because it's the original.
I want a gospel black church. I feel like I can get into that.
Yeah, it's way different than that. It's everything is sung, almost everything. The sermon is about 5 to 10 minutes. The rest of the 2 hours is a choir, and then the what they call readers. The readers are reading the prayers, often almost singing them, and the choir is doing chants back and forth.
All right. Next time, can I come with you to church?
I would love that.
Here at a famous landmark. It's the last sighting of Bigfoot before he went out looking for porches. So, you guys think Bigfoot is ever coming back?
No, not today.
But you just sit here every day and wait, huh?
Yeah, what's coming back?
Bigfoot.
Oh. No, hell no, where he is. Now if this goes viral, they're going to get the percentage of it?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Well, lucky for you, I've been doing internet footage for 10 years and never made a dime. So you and I can make no money together.
Now you can.